Well, hello guys and gals, and welcome back to another edition of Euro Truck Simulator 2 with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. Hey, time to do a little truck driving, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're on the multiplayer server today, but we're going to explore the whole World of Trucks contracts. You know, there's a new part of the game out where you can jump on World of Trucks and you can take a contract straight from there and then jump in the game and haul that. So as you can see, I've got a new World of Trucks contract pending, and we're going to take that in just a moment. But first I'm going to show you how I got that. So we're going to jump over to the World of Trucks website. So we're on the World of Trucks website, and the first thing you'll need to do if you haven't already is create an account, log in, and set up your profile. When you do, you'll see a My Page, and that will give you your old profile image and everything. But it'll also show job statistics for you, with how many jobs you've created, and a full breakdown of what your average distance is and things of that nature, longest job. And then to actually take a job, you're going to come up to the job market. Now in the job market, you'll see it's already calculated what city you're sitting in. First time you do it, it may prompt you to ask you what city you want to start from. It did do that for me because I wasn't logged in the first time I started doing it. But if you are logged in, it pretty much picks up where you're located. Then you can sort by distance, cargo name, expiration, the origin, all this information. What was pretty cool for me is what I've liked about this, or what I've figured out on this, is when we're doing multiplayer and we're trying to get loads that all go to the same place. It seems like there's more loads available in here than are in game. Now you're not going to get the heavy haulage stuff or anything like that. You're going to get some pretty standard things like cauliflower and ketchup and maple syrup and stuff like that. But it does seem like there's more options for you as far as destinations or distances. So I'm curious to see if I can use this in the multiplayer to, let's say when Alex picks a destination for our multiplayer, then I can come in here and just immediately scroll through and see if I can find something that goes to the exact same place from where we are. And that'll be interesting to see if that will work out. Make it a little bit easier to find jobs. The other thing I find interesting on the multiplayer server, because this does work in single player or multiplayer, it doesn't matter, is I can pick jobs that when I am in multiplayer, a lot of times I'll get in there and it won't list a job for me, and I find that I can jump in here and there's jobs ready to go, and I don't have to worry about driving all over town to try to find a load. So I kind of like that as well. So anyways, looking through here, let's see if we can find us a job that is maybe about 30 minutes to an hour for us to drive. And by looking around here, you'll see the time left on the contract, what the contract is, the origin, destination, and down here at the bottom you'll see estimated delivery time. That'll give you an idea of how long of a route it really is. So like I said, we want to find something somewhere in 30 minutes to an hour range. And Milano wouldn't be a bad run. We could do that. We could go down to Milano. That's about 43 minutes. And their time's probably not the same as my time. So why don't we take that contract? So to take it, all we had to do is come over here, sign the contract. It tells me that I have 13 hours, 10 minutes left. It's graphite grease. And the sender is the Trudeau. And yeah, so we'll take that. This is your current job. Run Euro Truck 2. Access external contracts to begin delivery. So we'll jump back into the game and we'll take our contract. Alright, so now that we have our contract selected, it's real simple. You'll get the notification like you see up here in the screen. Just click on that. It will take you to the World of Trucks external contracts, and we'll just go ahead and say begin our delivery. And that is going to transport us straight to where we need to go. And we are going to get hooked up to our truck and be ready to haul on. So all we have to do at this point is really just start our truck and get going. So here is our truck and trailer combination that we've got. And I'm just driving with a standard Volvo. It's got the 750 motor in it. It's the same one I did on the live stream the other day. Alright. Let's jump in cab and we'll get going. Park and brake off. And get ourselves rolling on out of here. Again, I'm on the multiplayer server, so this shows you that you can do this on both single player or multiplayer. It just depends on what you want to do, and I like that. Again, like I said, it'll be interesting to see if I can utilize this to find contracts in multiplayer when we're trying to do a run and find something that'll, you know, basically take me to a destination to where the rest of the crew is headed to without having to, you know, run all over the place and try to find something. I don't have Track IR hooked up, so I'm going to be driving without it today. So, a little bit different experience. So, once again, the truck's got the 750 motor in it with a 12-speed transmission in it. And I really am, I find myself now really just working on trying to do more laid-back driving and be more realistic about the driving, trying to keep the speeds down, you know, not be in such a hurry to get anywhere, focusing a little bit more on my gear shifting. I never really worried about the gear shifting before when I played on gamepad because it was all sequential and there was no clutch involved in everything. And it's a little bit different coming out of a sports car type driving scenario into driving this. I got to hold the clutch in a lot longer, you know, and be much more deliberate with my gear shifting. So versus like in Project Cars where I just basically tap the clutch and go, you know. It's one of those, it's a much more simpler. I have to, if I don't hold the clutch in for a longer period of time, I tend to get that whole grinding gear sound, and a bunch of you guys give me grief about it. So, trying to pay a little bit more of attention to things like that. Because, you know, Lord knows I don't want to grind a gear on a virtual, you know, simulation that I wouldn't do in real life. Well, you know, gotta cut me some slack, guys. It is a video game, and not everything is 100% realistic in this thing. So we'll head on out of town. 8-hour run basically on this, but like I said, it probably is only going to take about, you know, 45 minutes for us to make this delivery. We are, like I said, we are on the multiplayer server, just because I like the whole snow effect thing, and it's a little bit more laid back. So I've done a few of these World of Truck contracts, and I don't like the fact that they transport the truck to the location and you just automatically are hooked up. I would rather drive to the contract. You know, I would rather search for something that's right near me, drive over, hook up to it, and then go from there. But for right now, they've got you jumping right to the contract. So, you know, it is what it is. I talked a little bit in one of my previous videos about the speed limitations on this. I was a little bit wrong in what my understanding of how the speed limits were on this. It's not that they're limiting you like per load. They're not saying like, well, on this particular load you have to drive at set amount of speed. And I know there's nobody on this thing, but I'm still going to drive realistic. And I'll explain that in a minute. But as far as the speed, they are basically they're enforcing the 90 kilometer speed limit, meaning that your truck won't go any faster than 90 kilometers. Something about they want to level the playing field out. They don't want to give anybody who drives over 90 an unfair advantage in the game. Come on now. I mean, seriously. If it was to make it more realistic, like restrictions on a load where, let's say, you're holding plate glass or hauling plate glass, the manufacturer may not want you to exceed a certain speed limit. That would make sense. But to say, well, the reason we're enforcing the 90-kilometer speed limit on it is because we don't want one player to finish a job faster than another player is just bizarre. I don't quite understand that one. But, you know, it's their game. They can do what they want. I would much rather see the speed restrictions be placed on the load. And basically, you know, you can't haul this load any faster than X. You know, like hazardous materials. Let's put in some hazardous material loads and say, okay, well, you're hauling a hazardous material, you can't exceed X speed limit because of that. That makes more sense to me than just saying, well, we're going to have speed restrictions just because we don't want you to do too many jobs in a period of time, which I'm fine with the speed restrictions because I like driving underneath the speed limit and going from there. Speaking of the speed limit, it seems like, and I could be wrong on this, again, let me preference this, but I have noticed, like, on certain routes that I run now with the contracts, routes that I run with a regular job, it seems like the speed limit, like on this section of road here, would normally be 90 kilometers, but it's only 80. I've yet to see anything over 80 with a World of Trucks contract. All the speed limits have been lower, it seems to me, than what they would be if I pulled the contract straight from the game. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but I have noticed I've not seen any 90 kilometer speed limits in the game since I started using the World of Trucks contract. So, alright, so what I said a minute ago about stopping at the stop sign, even though I knew nobody was coming, one thing that I don't like about the multiplayer server is it's eliminated all of the traffic from the server. The only traffic on the server are the other people driving truck on the server at the time, which is nice in the sense that, you know, at times you'll get some morons on here driving just like maniacs, and so you really do want to, you know, not have the AI plus the regular people driving on here. And with the server lag and things like that, it's good not to have AI plus somebody who's rubber banding at the same time. So that makes sense. But the one thing that it ruins for you is all the vehicles on the GPS show up as a blue dot. Or if they're a friend of yours, they'll show up as a green dot on the GPS. Well, that sort of ruins the gameplay a little bit because people get on here, and since they know all they got to do is look for the GPS, they don't tend to drive the intersections nearly the way they would if they were playing the regular game and looking out for AI. And, you know, coming to an intersection, they'll just blow right on through the intersection and take the turns at a high speed and everything because they know there's no blue dot on my screen or no green dot on my screen, so I know I don't have to worry about oncoming traffic. And I'm trying to not play into that game. I do it in the multiplayer with everybody running in a group because I'm in the group and I got to keep up with the group. But if I don't have to, I don't want to. I want to keep it more realistic. I want to obey all the traffic laws, and when I get to an intersection or so, I want to, come to at least yield and look both ways and all that other stuff when I get to the intersection. So I'm going to try and be more realistic with it, even if I am on the multiplayer by myself and it's obvious to me that nobody is around. Today I'm playing on the US server. Traffic load was a little bit light on it, but the traffic on the European server is absolutely ridiculous right now. It's a 3,000 person server and there's like 2,900 people on there right now. And I got a little bit frustrated earlier in the day running a route. I picked up a load, pulled out of the yard, was going through the intersection and some dude just ran straight into my trailer and completely damaged my trailer, and I lost the load because of it. And that was a little bit frustrating. And I thought, well, you know what? If the people on the European server can't drive any better than that, then I'm just going to jump over to the US server. It might not be as many people on there. There's about 250, 300 people on here right now. And I can handle that a lot better than being run into just constantly by people who just don't take the game as serious as I want to. You know, I wanna be more realistic with it and treat it more like a simulator and not just a video game where I'm running from point A to point B at 100 miles an hour or whatever, as fast as I can within the constraints of the game. And so yeah, that's a little disappointing when I wasn't more than 2 blocks from the terminal, and 2 blocks from the terminal, and some guy, I was going through, he was making a left-hand turn. I was in the intersection before he even got to it, but he didn't even bother to slow down for the intersection. He just went ahead and took a hard left and plowed right into the back of my trailer. So and I don't even want to hear any excuses. Well, maybe you were rubber banded or something. You got to use a little bit more caution. It's easy to tell when the intersection's clear when it's not. So, all right, looks like we got a little toll booth coming up ahead. So anyways, yeah, I'm driving a regular stock truck here, so I don't mind doing. I enjoy, getting back into the stock stuff. I thought I wouldn't, but I've actually had a good time driving them. The multiplayer thing has been a lot of fun, and I almost regret that I didn't get into the multiplayer thing sooner. I let some people influence my decision on getting into multiplayer, telling me, oh, you won't enjoy it, it's horrible, the lag is just absolutely ridiculous, and all that stuff, But I've actually had a really good time with it and have enjoyed it. It hasn't been nearly as bad, but I have a feeling that once American Truck Sim gets out, I won't play multiplayer anymore. Though there was some discussion the other night that the guys who are doing this are already working on an ATS version, because they are working pretty much hand in hand with the guys at SCS on this project, and I guess there's a little bit of cooperation there, so maybe they're already working on an ATS version, which would be cool, because I would enjoy being able to do ATS multiplayer as well. So we'll get back up to speed here. And that's a tricky thing to do. I'm trying to get better at the external camera driving stuff. Mix it in a little bit. It seems like even if I set up straight going down the road, it seems like once I start, the truck wants to go all over the place, and it really is hard to figure out where you're at some of the times, which is funny because I can take my hands off the steering wheel a lot of times and the truck will just go straight down the lane, but as soon as I hit the 8 key to jump out to the external camera, it wants to walk all over the interstate on me. So spent quite a bit of time the last couple of days on the multiplayer server trying to get my G27 all worked out and get the settings all worked out. And I mentioned this a little bit in my Farm Sim video the other day. There's something really weird that goes on, and I don't know what it is. Of course, the multiplayer starts off, it uses the ETS2 engine. However, it runs a little bit different. It launches off the ETS2 MP, which is the multiplayer. It launches off of that, but then it launches Euro Truck and runs Euro Truck. So it's not its own standalone program. It's using your regular Euro Truck. It's just part of the things that it adds into it. So one would think that if I set my G27 launcher up to pick up my Euro Truck profile, it would pick that up just fine and I wouldn't have any issues. That doesn't work. I can set my steering wheel up and I can have it nice, stable, tight. It's got a nice fluid movement to it and I don't have any issues with it, and I get plenty of force feedback in Euro Truck 2. And I like that setting, so I set everything up in there, and then when I jump into the multiplayer, it's all completely gone and it's just loose and almost skating around on me like I'm driving on ice. And that has nothing to do with the snow textures that are in the game. It just completely goes away. No force feedback. The steering wheel feels like I'm driving a 78 Ford with 2 miles of play in the steering wheel, where you got to spin it a complete revolution to the right before it catches, and then get it to move slightly to the right. So it doesn't actually do that. It just feels that way, So I spent quite a bit of time messing around with it, and even if I set up a whole new profile for ETS2 MP and pointed to the multiplayer program and then set up a profile in there, that didn't do it either. That didn't help out one bit. I thought that was going to be the solution. It didn't do it, not at all. So I'm kind of at a loss at this point why it doesn't pick it up. Read the forums, everybody says, oh well, I don't have any problems with that. Though I know several people who have had problems with it. And the only solution I have figured out to work around it is just to go into the global settings for the G27 profiler and adjust everything in there. So I spent the better part of 2 days of play just like driving a little bit, pausing, making a few, driving a little bit, pulling over the side of the road, making some changes to the profile, to the global profile. And you guys saw the other night when I was doing the live stream, I did the same thing. When I was sitting on the side of the road, I kept jumping in and out of the game, tweaking it, trying to get the force feedback to kick in a little bit. And I never could get it quite right. So then I went out of the game, messed with it for quite a bit. And I finally got it where it's somewhat smooth. I don't get a whole lot of force feedback, but it feels right. The dampener on the force feedback wheels isn't kicking in every so often and giving it a jerky motion. It's basically, I've got the dampeners turned all the way off, so it just is a nice smooth rotation. And I'm okay with it. Getting a little carried away here. I was talking and not paying attention to what I was doing. I was running up against the limiter. And I don't want to run that high anyways. I want to run 78. But I think I've got it pretty much smoothed out. As you can see, I'm much more in control of this truck than I was the other night. Man, I was at a loss the other night driving this thing. I was for sure gonna wreck many a times, And yeah, talk about nerve-wracking. I'm driving a truck that's loosey-goose on me, and I'm having to lead the group because I've got the next drop-off, and I'm like, this is great. I'm gonna eat it and wreck the entire group because this thing is just squirrely as all get out on me. Luckily I didn't wreck, but I was not at all comfortable. Alright, so we're getting closer to our destination. So we'll do some more Euro Truck this week. Yeah, I'll do a few episodes this week. And we'll mix it up between the multiplayer as well as the single player with the pro mods. I really enjoy playing the pro mods and seeing the different look in it. What I need to do is actually get the snow version for single player and put in. Because I really like having the adjusted route advisor as well, and not having to have my GPS up the entire time. So we'll mix it up back and forth between the two of them. We'll do a few contract runs, as well as just grab a load here and there. Probably going to stick with the stock trucks quite a bit, but I might throw in another Peterbilt here and there. Especially if I can get my whole national championship paint scheme figured out for a Peterbilt. They've been messing around in Photoshop with that a little bit. Getting a little bit happy with the speed again. Gotta slow that down. I got a lead foot, I'll admit it. Yeah, I'm just swerving all over the place when I go to that external. Like, I'm steady right down the middle. If it'll hold that, that would be really cool. But it's wanting to walk over to the other side a little bit. I'm getting better with it. You know, when I used to drive Euro Truck, I never thought about doing all those extra camera angles and stuff like that because I didn't do videos and stuff. I just drove truck. So I didn't do external cam shots and everything. I'm trying to incorporate some more of that into these videos. This is kind of cool to see the scenery and stuff. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Which way you want to see the videos. Do you want to see single player with pro mods? Do you like the multiplayer server? Just let me know what you guys like a little bit more. You want to see some more contract runs, or you know, try to get some stuff on that you guys enjoy. But I do want to pick up the amount of Euro truck that we do over the next couple of weeks. I think we got 3 more weeks to go until we get to ATS and the big launch day. And in February we'll become ATS heavy. I imagine there'll be some mods out for it pretty quick, but I don't think we'll need any right off the bat. Stick with the Peterbilts and go from there. It'll be really interesting to see what they do with ATS. Hopefully they give you more options for customization of your truck, because it is, I mean, if you live in the States and you see the trucks that go down the road in the States, you know these guys will put all kinds of stuff on them, you know, and tweak them out. Lots of lights, and just have a lot of fun with them. So I mean, that's their home for a lot of truck drivers. That is their home. I mean, they spend more time there than they do in a house. A lot of guys, I mean, I know a couple of guys that drive over the road that they don't even own a home. They pretty much are in there. They have a place they stay with, like they rent a room from somebody or whatever, but their truck is their home. And so they tweak those things out, man. They are decked out. And a lot of them have more in their truck than they do in their home, if they do own a home. So it'd be cool to see if they give you more customization that really fits the way things are here in the States. You know, again, like I said, I'd like to see them incorporate more of the World of Truck stuff into the game, where, like I said, you could go in and create your custom logo for your company, and you have that on your door panel, or you could pick to put that on your sleeper cab. I think in World of Trucks you ought to go in there and apply for a DOT number. You know, so you ought to get a DOT number, and that ought to have to be on your truck. And that kind of stuff would be neat to see them do. Alright, so we're just outside our destination now. About 5 more minutes to go. Best I can figure, an hour in game is about 5 minutes, something like that. So we'll roll on up here on our destination. I think we're going to Milano. I think that's what I selected. It's been a while now since I did that, so kind of starting to forget it. Plane taking off. That is so cool to see that. That is so awesome. Another plane on inbound over there. That's crazy, especially when you're running one of these at night and you come up on the airport and all of a sudden you see the lights and an airplane takes off on you. It's pretty darn cool. They've done a really great job with this. The lighting effects on it. This game really has come a long way since its inception. Really looking forward to seeing what the next level of it is with ATS. Alright, Alright, one more toll booth to hit up here. And then we should be pretty close to our destination. It's weird in this version of Euro Truck 2. It seems like the stock, it's hit or miss what vehicles it is. But a lot of people have been complaining about the Jake brake is broken. And I'm one of those that has been talking about the Jake not working in certain situations. It doesn't, it's certain trucks it works in and certain trucks it doesn't. Like in this one, the Jake works and it actually makes a little bit of a noise. Whereas, and I always misjudge that. I'll either hit the gate or I'll come up just a little bit short. But in some trucks, the Jake, the lights come on, but the Jake doesn't make any noise. And then in other trucks, the Jake comes on and makes the noise just fine, like it does in this particular truck. But now, it's not, it's hit or miss. Some stock trucks work just fine, some stock trucks don't. Some mod trucks work just fine, some mods don't. Not sure what they did in this last update, but it's definitely got everything messed up quite a bit. Hopefully they'll be getting that done and fixed soon. For some reason I thought there was an extra lane here. Guess there's not. Alright. Well, here's our exit to get off. Oh, there's a sudden lighting change. I actually have a garage in Milano down here. One of the cities that I have a garage located in. I need to buy some more. I need to buy a few more garages. I need one garage just to put trucks in, you know. Because I'm running out of room for just trucks that I bought. But yeah, there's one of my expanded garages. One of my little bases I own. But I need one just to stick trucks that I drive in, and then put all the rest of my trucks in another one, in the other ones, you know. But I need to expand up and hire a few more workers too. Alright, almost to our destination. One thing I want to do with ATS too, and I want to get more into the custom skins thing. And that's one of the things I'm going to spend a little bit more time working on this week, this month. I want to get a custom skin done for my company. And I want to make one for every truck in the company. And paint each truck individually. So as I expand, each one of them has a truck number on it. So, you know, like mine will be 1. And the first hired person would be 2, and so forth and so on. Duh, right? But I want to do that. I want to make a custom skin that will be used for all of my trucks. And each truck will have that skin on there, but each one will be a little bit unique, as well as, like, I make up a fictitious driver name and have that over the door. Though, I mean, you're never going to see that on the road. It's still something that's kind of just cool to do. You know what I mean? So, something I would enjoy doing. Alright, so we are here at our destination. Gotta back up a little bit here. Frank gave me grief the other day for staring out the door to do my backups. I need to drive more in the mirrors. I would use the mirrors more if they were usable. Most of them seem pretty small, you know, like if I look at the mirror over there, I can't hardly make out off of that mirror. I can't hardly make off, and I hate using these guys. I mean, yes, I can use it off of that, and I can see everything that's going on with it and back up into there with no problems. But I don't like using that big old junky mirror like that. I would rather the mirrors in the game be a little bit better to use. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Back up just a little bit more. Try to get that perfect. Just pretty close there. Almost got the perfect one. Alright. So there we go. That is our load done. And now that we're finished, it will update with the server, and all of our stats will be updated on the website, and we've completed another job. So all right, that's it. Pretty easy. That's the way you do a contract. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and of course we'll do some more Euro Truck later on this week. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a great time. I am on the multiplayer. I need to get in here and get off of this real quick so somebody doesn't show up and I'm sitting there on the loading zone, because that's one of my pet peeves, and I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? Just pull over here out of the way. Almost forgot I was on the multiplayer server. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and that's our look on contracts. We'll do some more this week. And like I said, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and of course if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I do new videos each day for you guys, and live streams daily as well. So I hope you guys will participate, enjoy the channel, and come on back for some more videos tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.